It's Wellness Wednesday. I've been bankhead bouncing all week. I was talking to someone about how more people should open up their chest. And if you get your rib cage and everything open, it's easier for you to breathe. And that was a good dance to get that shoulder. You know what I'm saying? Anyway, we are making chili oil today. I love chili oil. I got introduced to it because I used to hang out with this Laotian family, and Ima used to make chili oil all the time. So it's the same thing that when you go to Chinese restaurants, Asian restaurants, you see the little the dish and it's like oil, but it has like little things at the bottom. That's chili oil. And you can use it for literally everything. I love chili oil. You can put it on salads for dressing. You can put it in the pot before you fry things. You can use it in sauces. You can just use it in everything. So I'm going to show you how I make mine. I like mine a little bit on the salty side because if you guys can tell, I love to add salt to like condiments and things. So I don't really have to add it in my food. And it's a great mechanism for preserving things. So it's one of my favorites. So for this recipe, what you'll need is Thai chilies. And you chop them up. So you can do this two ways. You can either take them, this is how they look when they're whole. And when you pick them out, you want them to be firm and red. You can get the green ones too, but it just doesn't look as pretty in my opinion. So you take the whole ones and you can chop them up, or you can put them through a food processor. Sometimes I don't like the food processor because it doesn't chop it up small enough. Do take into consideration that the Thai chili peppers are very hot. It's one of the reasons why this dish is so good for you, because the heat of the peppers helps you out tremendously. I'll talk about that later. But so it's very hot, and sometimes when you put it in the food processor, they get bigger chunks. So if you guys can see the chunks here, those are a bit big for me. So this was my first time trying the food processor. I think I'm gonna cut it. So you either dice it or do the food processor. If you can do spicy foods, well, the food processor might, be better for you. Or maybe you have one that's really strong and chops them up really small, But definitely take that in consideration because the chili oil gets hot. All right, so you take the chili oil, the chilies, and after they're chopped up, you can put them in a mortar pestle with some sea salt. And this is how you add salt to it. Like I said, it's a great way to preserve it. And it really tastes good to have a salty, hot taste for the condiment. I put a little sugar in it at the end. So there's a little bit of sweet, but it's like very little. So if you are not used to having peppers in your diet, it's really beneficial to add them. But if you can't take hot things, Thai chilies may not be the pepper for you. So you can make this exact oil, but do it with peppers that are not as hot. I like to start people out with jalapenos a lot of times because you rarely are coming up on a really spicy jalapeno. So if you don't have any spice in your diet at all, I'm telling you, you want to add it. Start out with the hotter pepper and chili. Jalapenos seem to be a very good start. All right, so you just bang, bang, bang the salt in. All right, so we've had this warming up, this pan. I'm using a cast iron skillet. For this, I would only use cast iron or stainless steel. I'm not really a fan of cooking with anything else because I don't like nonstick. So I'm adding a generous amount of the oil to heat up. Do keep in mind that I'm going to be putting all of this oil in there to infuse it and putting it in a jar. So that's why you see me using so much oil. What I'm going to do is take some chopped garlic and fry it first. You don't have to use the garlic if you don't want to, but it makes a really nice flavor in the oil. It just brings it together really nicely. So you fry the garlic in just a little bit of oil. You don't put all of your oil in there at first. You want to fry the things first to bring the flavor out and then infuse the oil. So that's why I only put that amount in there. So I'm gonna fry the garlic in there. Frying the garlic. All right, and I'm gonna make this until it's brown. Now y'all know you can burn your garlic. Don't burn it. Just make it brown. I'm gonna turn this down. She be getting hot, y'all, okay? So you don't want it to be burnt, but you do want it to be brown. And you're just gonna let that, you kind of want to keep it stirred on the outside. You'll see like where there's not as much oil, you know, it'll be getting crispier before the other side. So you do want to keep a watch on those brown pieces because you don't want to burn the garlic. That's going to give you a really pungent garlic flavor. So if you like pungent garlic flavor, you can burn the garlic. To each its own. I've actually done that by mistake and it was nice, but the garlic comes through a lot. All right. All right, so I'm done with this. And I'm gonna wait for that to brown a little bit. I got tea, guys. I've been cold brewing. It tastes amazing. So the reason why chili oil is a good idea to add to your diet is because it's packed full of health benefits. So one of the things that I love about it is the spice because I love spice. And any of the peppers that have spice in it, the main chemical compound capsaicin. Hopefully I said that right, y'all. Anyway, I'll put it in the comments because I be having trouble saying it. Anyway, that chemical compound is what gives the peppers their spicy flavor. And that's where all the health benefits come in. So it helps with a lot of inflammation. Any kind of disease that you come into with itis on the end, bursitis, tendonitis, arthritis, itis, those are inflammation diseases, right? So peppers can help literally take the inflammation out of your body. And so anytime you're suffering from any of the itis disease, itis in medical terms literally means disease or inflammation. So if ever you have any of the itises, put some pepper in your diet. It really helps. Spicy things, garlic, ginger, peppers, they really help to cleanse the body of the inflammation. This also, the peppers have a lot of vitamin C. I love vitamin C because it helps us boost our immunity. And we all need some of that. So actually the peppers, the Thai chili peppers specifically. Now, if you choose to do another pepper, do know they still have benefits. And I condone all pepper oils, okay? All of them. All oil matters. No, all pepper matters. I guess all of them. Anyway, so you add those to your diet and you're going to start to rid yourself of the inflammation. If you have congestion going on in the headpiece, peppers are going to help that out, clear out your congestion. So that's the thing. A lot of the times we have peppers that are too strong for us. And there is, I don't want to say a dark side to peppers, but you know, if you're not used to them, they can carry out some things in your body. One of those things is runny noses. It can send you to the bathroom. When you go to the bathroom, it could sting a little bit or a lot. And usually that's signs that the pepper is too hot or you had too much. So you can always pipe down on the type of pepper. But spice is important. So I'm going to actually add the peppers in. So I just grabbed a lot of peppers. I didn't measure them. My bad, guys, but you guys saw the bowl. I'm not really great with measuring. It's just not my strong suit. I don't know why. That looks so gross. All right, I'm gonna add these. So you don't have to add the salt. A lot of recipes don't call for it, but it's something that I add and I love. So you're gonna want to play with that because I do add a pretty good amount of salt to mine because I add it every time I bam it in the mortar pestle. I add salt to each batch. So I'm gonna fry that. Oh. Now these peppers are gonna make you cough and sneeze. Might as well go ahead, open up the room windows, put the fan on, help yourself, Lord. Now, the hotter the pepper, the more reaction you're gonna get. So if you are doing the jalapenos, it might not be as much. If you're doing habaneros, you won't want to be by a window. You know, so you gotta gauge it. We're gonna let it cook, Lord. Excuse me. So also, after I add the oil and infuse it, I'm gonna add coconut amino acids. I love these. So I try to not eat soy. It's just my personal choice. There is research on everything, but my personal choice is just not to consume it because most of the crops for soybeans are GMO. There's like controversy with estrogen, all kinds of things. So I just choose not to do it. A lot of the times, if I find that something's in my diet and I research it and I can't really decipher, like, is this good or bad? Like, I always err on the side of, let me just get an alternative because, I don't know, food is very chemically laced these days and I just want to be more natural. So I get that, and I have organic cane sugar. So I only have 1/4 of a cup. A lot of recipes are going to call for more sugar. You can add it if you like. If this is your first time doing like spicy things, like really spicy things, or like a chili oil, I would suggest you want to add a little bit more sugar than what I'm adding. But I be on that spice every day. And so I only add 1/4. This is 1/3 cup. I'm gonna add more oil now. So I'm gonna add 1/3 cup of sugar. So you might want to go to like a 1/2 cup. I don't know, guys. You know, I just think a full cup's a lot, but you know, it's your life. Do what you want. You know, that's the fun part. So I'm using avocado oil. How dare I not tell you guys about the oil? I'm using avocado oil because it has a high cooking temperature. So for this recipe for chili oil, you do not, I repeat, do not want to use an olive oil or a sesame oil. You want to use a high boiling point oil. Is it boiling point? Frying temperature oil. Y'all help me with my words, Lord. So I tend to use an avocado or a grapeseed. Now, I am not a fan of vegetable oil because it has soy and canola, like all these things that are like GMO, and it's really yucky. So if there is like a couple of things that you had to change today on your diet, honestly, oil should be one of them. If you're using vegetable oil, canola oil, go ahead, boo. See what that grape seed oil is about. or the avocado. You know, olive oil is really nice, but you don't want to cook olive oil because it releases toxins when it gets to a certain temperature. So you gotta watch out for olive oil. But I love it in like salads and stuff, you know what I'm saying? But yeah, if you switch up your oil, it helps your body process, you know what I'm saying? So that's one of the things I would tell everyone. If you could switch something today, that vegetable oil and canola oil, that would be legit, man. That would be legit. All right, so this is boiling, as you can see. Let y'all see this goodness. Y'all see that? It's got a good boil on it. Don't it look nice? So right now, all of the flavors are infusing. You want to do this, most people say for at least like 5 to 10 minutes, but I wouldn't leave it for more than 20. Excuse me, y'all. Let me get my drink. Excuse me. I wouldn't do it for more than 20 minutes, but you can do it for as little as 5. Now, it's going to infuse this way. The longer it sits in the oil, it'll also infuse. And I'm actually going to try my hand at infusing some olive oil. Maybe I'll show you guys that. I want to do it like a cold infusion. So you can also like sit these out in the sun and it'll infuse more. So say, you only have 5-10 minutes to make the oil. You can go ahead, put it in the jar where you store it and just sit it up in your windowsill too. Don't forget about the power of the sunshine, guys. She is so amazing for us. All right, so she's been boiling for a minute. You do want to stir it a little bit because you don't want it to burn on the bottom. Y'all see her getting up there? I love making chili oil. So you can use the chili oil 2 types of ways. So you can use just the oil, which this on the top, that's infused oil right there, right? Or you can dig down to the bottom to this stuff. Now that stuff is golden. It's going to have a crunchy texture. If you wanted to have more crunchy of a texture, when I fried it, you just fry it till it's like a little harder. You can also, like I said earlier, fry that garlic until it's brown, and that'll give you a more crunch in your oil as well. So you can use this part, I love to put in like salads and top things with it because this is salty still. So when you do it in the mortar pestle, you're really getting the salt in the pepper and you're extracting the essence of it. So you're really like opening up the flavor of the pepper and you're putting the salt in the pepper, which helps it preserve it, but also gives it this amazing salty, like spicy taste. So anything, you could put it on like burgers. If you make some vegetables, you can top it with that. You can throw it on top of a soup. You can use chili oil on literally everything. I make dips out of it. Sometimes I like to make a spicy dill like ranch situation, and I'll put a little bit of this oil in that, and it's amazing. So this is literally one of my favorite condiments. You very rarely are going to come to my house and not have chili oil. All right, so here, once it's boiled out and it's infused, you actually want to turn off your pot. So you don't have to heat up the sugar or the coconut amino acid. Now, if you guys don't have coconut amino acid, you can use soy sauce, tamarind sauce, amino acids from Bragg's. Those all do have soy in it. So I have actually made my own like vegan mushroom soy sauce that was actually delicious. I should make that again. That's actually a really good condiment too, and I actually put it in my chili oil and that was delicious. I think I'm gonna make that again. Oh, it's been so long. But anyway, most of the situations that you have for this type of flavor is going to be soy based. But this one, it already has a sweetness to it, which is another reason why I'm only adding this much sugar. If you use a soy sauce that has more of a bite to it, so you might want to add a little bit more sugar there. So it's your chili oil. Once you cut it off, it's still going to be boiling and heated up. So that's why you can go ahead and cut it off before you add this, because you are going to let this sit in there. I don't know how much I'm adding, y'all. I just be going. Did I cut you off? Oh, I did. Y'all, this plate is popping. So I just got a induction cooktop to be able to cook over here because my kitchen be doing the most. And this is my first time using it, and y'all see her going? So I probably should have shut her off a little bit ago, but I had no idea Bertha was over here working like that. All right, so just stir that in. Now, when you store this, you're going to want to store it in an airtight container. One thing about, I love to store in jars, like mason jars, but one thing you're going to get with the oils and the vinegars when storing them in here is that it makes the ring sticky. And so I'm going to show you what I mean in just a second. Doesn't she look pretty? All right, so when you take this part off, you're going to want to take the top. Excuse me, Lord, I'm over here getting a cleansing from the peppers. So you're going to want to take the top like this and then put parchment paper on it and then seal it down like this. And the reason being is that oils and vinegars, they actually make the top, the ring, this part of the jar sticky. And then it also gets under here. And not only is it a pain in the ass to clean off, but sometimes you'll have to forfeit your ring and get some more. So I always make sure I have that. So I think I'm gonna need to let this thing cool, y'all. I was gonna put it in the jar, but I don't think that makes any sense because this thing is still bubbling. All right. So you see the difference in, I'll show you guys. When you put in the sugar, it's gonna make the oil a bit more thick. So that's another reason why you don't want to boil it down, for a long period of time either, because it will turn into a very thick consistency. Oops. All right. I gotta play with that. All right. All right, so this is a consistency you want, though, a little thick, but still oil. You'll see the peppers are kind of broken down. There's like a brownish tint to it. And in general, the oil just isn't as clear. I know that's harder to see, but when we started out, the oil was a lot clearer. So get all that in the sides. Now, you want to wait just a little bit for it to be on the stove to put in the jar anyway, because you do want to let the flavor sit. So I store it in a jar. Like I said, you want to store it in something airtight. And once you put it in the jar, you can leave it out on the shelf. I do not refrigerate this. It's nice to have like warm temperature, and in general, it's an oil. So you would treat it just like if you had, a grapeseed oil or something sitting out on the cabinet. If you guys can remember when you were growing up, this is how I got into infused oil, because I was just, my mind was blown. Do you guys remember, like at your house, your grandma's house, your auntie's house, they always had like the bottle of oil and vinegar, and it had like the peppers and the bell peppers, or like rosemary or peppercorns. Like all these cool stuff. And people would just like put it on shelves and act like it was decoration. You're actually supposed to cook with that stuff. I was like, what? I had no idea. So when I figured that out, I was like, I got to make me some oils. And I came across this in a restaurant. So that's how I started infusing oils. But you can literally infuse everything. You can put garlic in oils. I make my own body oil. Maybe I'll do that for you guys because I actually need some more here soon. But what I do is I'll crush up garlic, sometimes cinnamon. I've done rosemary, but you just like bring out the essence of it and put it in like your body oil. I like to do like a mixture. And I literally just take the glasses and sit them out in the hot sun and they will infuse the oils. And that's what you use to like love on yourself in the AM, ooh, or at night. But I just love infused oil. So yeah, that's how I got introduced to them because I thought they were freaking decorations because nobody used to eat them. I'm like all that wasted food that was on all the countertops and bookshelves. But anyway, so this will be your own infused oils. And I actually do, I've started to give gifts like this. People really like when you homemade things. And so, yeah, if you give this as a gift, people really appreciate it. So that is our chili oil. If you guys have any questions for me or you have any comments, if you make it, I really want to know when y'all cook with me. If you make chili oil, let me know. And yeah, I'll see you guys next week. That's all I got for you guys. All right. See ya. Peace.